everybody. I hope you're enjoying this episode of the podcast. I had fun recording it, and you have to be asking yourself, Mitch, how do I do a podcast just like you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, and my friend Eduardo, thank you, Mitch. You're welcome, Eduardo. This is very simple. Go join Anchor.fm, the number one place this side of free to upload and record your podcast. Any platform, they got it for you. They will upload it for you free. That's right. Can't go wrong with free 99, free side of the streets. Am I right? Ladies and gentlemen, you want to get paid to do your podcast? That is super simple with their system to pay you without having a huge audience. Now, you're asking yourself, Mitch, what was that website you said earlier? Ladies and gentlemen, that is Anchor.fm. And tell them, hey, I want to do a podcast just like Mitch from Talking Anime. All right, guys, let's get back to the show. Bye-bye. Konnichiwa, everyone, and welcome to an exciting episode of Talking Anime. I'm excited for this episode. I hope you guys are too. I hope you liked the past episodes. You know, the hentai episode, the music episode, the isekai episode. I know I enjoyed recording them, but guys, episode 6, this episode right now, is the best one so far. That is right, everybody. We have our first guests on the show. I will cut to my talk and discussion with them after this commercial break. I love every single one of you. I will see you at the end of the, recording, all that fun stuff. Oh, bye-bye. Hey, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this episode of the podcast. I had fun recording it, and you have to be asking yourself, Mitch, how do I do a podcast just like you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, and my friend Eduardo, thank you, Mitch. You're welcome, Eduardo. This is very simple. Go join Anchor.fm, the number one place this side of free to upload and record your podcast. Any platform, they got it for you. They will upload it for you free. That's right. Can't go wrong with free 99, free side of the streets. Am I right? Ladies and gentlemen, you want to get paid to do your podcast? That is super simple with their system to pay you without having a huge audience. Now, you're asking yourself, Mitch, what was that website you said earlier? Ladies and gentlemen, that is Anchor.fm. And tell them, hey, I want to do a podcast just like Mitch from Talking Anime. All right, guys, let's get back to the show. Bye-bye. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talking Anime. I am here with... Well, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, Jay.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, why don't you go first, buddy?
Well, I'm JD. This simple if you want to call me that, or just JD, or, preferably anything that, a god, basically. We'll just go with that.
And I am Earthworm, sometimes called Earthworm the Mighty, and we are from a little podcast called The Anime Brothers.
Yay! Insert applause.
Yay! I'm going to celebrate. I'm clapping myself right now.
Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. You guys are my first guests I've ever done on my podcasts. I've been doing podcasts for about roughly a year now, so...
Oh, it's an honor, man. I
Nice.
appreciate it.
So,
Yeah, this is our first guest spot, so a little new for everybody.
perfect.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you for coming on, guys. Today's topic,
Of course.
everyone who is listening at home on whatever device, whatever, is overpowered characters, the good side and the bad side. So we'll talk about some overpowered heroes and then a bunch of overpowered villains, because you can't have yin without the yang,
Oh, no, that's
No
true.
doubt.
That's true.
So, if you guys want to start off, just throw a random name out and we'll discuss it.
Kirito from Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
He's the bad overpowered, if you ask me.
I figured I'd break it down.
Yeah.
I'll already do it.
Yeah.
But come on.
Yeah, no, I talked about it in my isekai episode, is that that's the thing about, like, an isekai show in general, is when your main trope is your character is too overpowered, and especially when it comes to a video game styled isekai, because 9 times out of 10 they're used to playing the game. So
Yeah. Yeah, and also it doesn't help that he's played the game before, so he pretty much knows all the ins and outs of the game. And I know Earthworm had a problem with it, like, this boy never loses.
Look,
you know, blah,
all
blah,
I'm
blah.
saying is beta tester my ass. It took me like
He was a
4
beta
years
tester.
of playing Skyrim before I could learn my way around a
Well,
city.
Skyrim
okay.
is shit compared to that game,
Yeah,
so
no,
that's probably
no,
why.
I'm the same way too. It took me a little bit to get used to Skyrim.
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
so just
shouldn't have played
because he's a beta tester doesn't mean nothing. He just, like Mitch was saying though, there's a lot of that overpoweredness in isekais. It's like you get dropped into a new world, and the only way you could possibly survive is to be OP as shit.
Yeah, and then it
Yeah.
also doesn't help, again, though, like we said, is that he was a beta tester, had experience with the game ahead of everyone else, and, you know, it's
He also had some sword training.
yeah, on top
in his early
on top
life.
of that too, that, you know, he was doing the kendo training and everything else too. So
Yep.
well, I'm gonna throw another character out there. I don't know if have you guys watched How Not to Summon a Demon Lord?
I have
Actually,
not.
No.
Okay, so it's on the same vein of Sword Art Online. Your main character is
Okay.
pulled into this world, a video game world, quote unquote. Well, Diablo is this character. And what it is, it's this guy who literally had no life outside of school. So all he would do is go home, play this game, and one day he woke up in his avatar's body. Diablo is the name of his avatar, and he's a demon lord. He's like a level 150, whatever. And
Oh shit.
yeah, like this character is just stupid overpowered. Like he fought in one scene, spoiler alert, talked about it in my Isekai episode. He fought this summoning that is supposed to be like the most dangerous summoning in all of the world, and he was having issues for like a good 2 minutes, and then he just wiped the floor with this thing. And it was
No.
and
shit.
it got to the point that he went and got a weaker weapon, so when they went and did fights, he wasn't one-shotting everybody because he had like an overpowered ring that raised his magic or his mana pool up like stupid high.
So he had to pull himself down a bit so it could be even.
Yeah,
fight.
exactly. And again, he was still like way too overpowered in their world, you know?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
Now, in your opinion, does that make it for a better isekai, or does that kind of take some of the thrill out of it?
and I mentioned this in my show, the last episode, the Isekai episode I did, is that it is hard to get into a show when your main character is too overpowered. You know, it's hard to sit and watch and enjoy a show when it's, you know, hey, your main character is here. It's like with Sword Art Online with Kirito. You know, the minute he's involved, you know what's going to happen. And
I enjoyed
yeah,
it.
and the fight scenes in How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is, mwah. He like wiped out an army with like one big attack. So, yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. I don't know. See, I'm already liking that show. I think that's gonna have to be something I'm watching.
Well, it's on.
Add it to the list.
It's on Fun.
Add it to the list. Hold on.
It's on Funimation. That's where I watched it. It's got a couple like ecchi scenes where like the characters are like super perverted, but you know,
Yeah, you'll find that
yeah,
everywhere.
most isekais it turns out there's a harem involved too. So you know, yeah,
Oh
yeah, par
I
for the
get it.
course.
yeah, exactly.
What about you, Earthworm?
So I don't know. I appreciate overpowered characters, but I almost prefer when they're done in sort of a satirical way. I'll reference like, and I know Mitch, you brought it up on your Isekai episode as well, but Overly Cautious Hero.
Yeah,
I loved how they did his, and I've only watched a few episodes because I can't deal with the closed captioning subtitles for Hulu, and I can't find it anywhere else. But
if
that-
you have Funimation, there's an English dub on Funimation.
I do not. Funimation won't take my money. I've tried to buy figures
Damn.
and I've tried to sign up,
Damn
and they're
them.
just like, nope, your credit card's not accepted. Anyway, but I like how they make him very, very obviously overpowered, and it's not so much like is he going to beat the people, but it's how bad is he going to beat them? Like how many times is he going to nuke this fucking slime,
Yeah.
like you said in that episode?
Yeah. Or
And just like that, I was gonna say like Mob Psycho and One Punch Man do that very similarly,
Yeah.
and I think they do it very well.
well, the thing with Saitama being so overpowered, it's almost to a point where it is for comedic purposes that he's overpowered. You know?
Yeah, you get to see every other hero struggle, and you get to see them go through all this
The reason why
bullshit.
I haven't even started is because of him being overpowered, but now I want to watch it because it's
Yeah,
fun.
It's hilarious.
I've seen like top 10 videos where it shows him just like the giant giant swarm of mosquitoes. He just slaps it and destroys the entire boss. So it's like,
That was one of the best ones. It's like this other hero is struggling and getting his ass whooped by this mosquito lady, and then he just comes up. I don't remember if that was the fight where he was naked or not.
yeah, he was
But he just
naked
comes
the
up-
entire time. Yeah.
He just comes up completely nude and smacks this lady, and she just explodes into blood like a normal mosquito, dude. It's hilarious.
God damn.
So I have another one. If you guys don't have one,
Oh, what you got, Mitch?
I'll let you go first.
Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z.
He finally brought in DBZ. I was waiting. I was waiting for
I
something.
am currently rewatching Dragon Ball Z with my wife. We're almost done Dragon Ball Z. We're at the point where it's Kid Buu, like their last couple fights of Kid Buu.
Crazy kid.
And Majin Buu is probably one of the most OP characters simply because the fact that if you blow him up, he gets right back up, reforms himself. And again, Super Buu had an attack where he literally wiped out most of humanity with one powerful move. And yeah, like I said, like it takes, again, it's how many years now it's been out. He destroys Kid Buu with the Spirit Bomb, but he needs basically all of Earth's power and everything else to hit him with the Spirit Bomb, which is a move that I will talk about in a future episode of dumb moves, because the Spirit Bomb is a dumb move because if you're pure of heart, it won't hurt you. And it's supposed to be the trump card for Goku, but it's the fact that he never uses it, and when he does, it's literally a one-shot kill. Like, Goku could be thrown on this list of overpowered characters too.
Oh,
I was
without
gonna
a doubt.
put him on this 100%.
You know, like he gets Super Saiyan early with Frieza. Yeah, and
See, I wouldn't count that. I wouldn't count that as early because all the kids, they got it at a young age. I feel like when it came to after Super Saiyan, that's when Goku started just getting forms like left and
yeah,
right.
Super Saiyan 2, that we never see him actually train for it, and he just does it. And then Super Saiyan 3, and that's another one of those transformations that's literally pointless because in Super, they make it the most useless transformation he knows.
And it's a damn shame.
It is, because, you know, that scene when he does it with Boo and he transforms is iconic, you know?
Yes, it's my favorite.
But yeah.
Oh, man.
No, that's...
I got another one. We'll stay on the Dragon Ball train real quick, but what do you think about Jiren since you've watched Super, right?
Yeah, I've seen all of Super, and oh my god, Jiren's on the same boat with, like, Majin Buu. As that...
It's just way too much.
Yeah, he's overpowered for storyline purposes, though. As that you need to get Goku to Ultra Instinct, so what's going to be the motivator to get him there? And it's the strive to fight, you know, Kefla and all of them, and then Jiren. And then they have that awesome ass fight. Goku has him basically beat. Then Jiren gets the power up, and then he's fucking impossible to fight after that, you know?
Yeah, it just kept going. I was like, man, how high is this ceiling going? It was crazy.
It's to the point now that there's no such thing as a ceiling in Dragon Ball Z.
No, there isn't. No, there
No.
isn't. I'm sorry, Earthworm, you don't know, but you know in a way.
I mean, I'm aware of what's going on, and I know that there's the little guy with the big eyes who can, like, just destroy universes at whim, so maybe he's the ceiling. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
he's the ceiling. No.
Yeah, maybe Zeno does set the bar pretty high because he is basically the creator of everything.
Yeah.
Watch there be a second creator of everything. It's like, oh, it just keeps going.
It's that power.
It just goes into it goes into Full Metal Alchemist mode,
Oh,
and we're
jeez.
like, we're gonna fight God. All right.
Man, you guys got another one that you want to talk about?
Yeah, let me throw one out there. Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I still haven't watched JoJo yet.
You haven't watched JoJo?
Me
Oh
neither.
man, so I won't spoil a whole bunch.
I've seen enough videos that I know how overpowered those characters get.
Yeah, so it's not even just Jotaro himself, but it's when the stands are introduced, and Araki just decided, let's give this guy a stand. Excuse me, a stand that has like immense physical strength, is the fastest goddamn thing you've ever seen, can punch through diamonds, and his only weakness is, I guess he can only travel like 3 meters away from his person, unless he does this one move that he can stretch his fingers out. And I love it. It's not even done satirical. Maybe I'm just a JoJo fanboy, but like Jotaro is probably one of my favorite JoJos.
You are a JoJo fanboy.
I
but
am.
It's all right.
It's bad.
It's like that's why I put that meme with the Dragon Ball Z people and the JoJo friends. It's just, they meet in the middle. That's just,
The
that's
way the
enough.
manga is turning out soon to be is what I'm hoping that it's going to be. Is that the new bar is going to be set to, can they defeat Vegeta though? That's the question.
Vegeta, yeah, I saw. You love Vegeta.
I will fully admit that I am a Vegeta stan on that one for sure.
It'd be nice
There's
for
nothing wrong
Vegeta
with
get to. It'd be nice for him to get some love. Unfortunately, I don't know if he'll ever be considered like overpowered
No,
because of what Goku's done to him.
yeah, no, no. But
He's always
the
second.
way they're making it look like in the manga now is that there's a chance that he could be overpowered, even if it is for like a second, you know. But
Oh, a second, huh?
hey, that second counts, you know.
No,
all you
I
need.
agree. I got another overpowered character because I'm now just spitballing here, but me and Earthworm talked about it in our prior episode. But I've realized that Simone is probably the strongest character in all of anime as of right now, and I'm just gonna say that because of spiral power, and it's ungodly. So top guy right there. And he has never lost a fight. Just putting that out there. Goku's lost. Vegeta's lost. Kirito's even lost.
Yeah.
But guess what? Simone hasn't.
Yeah.
Have you watched Gurren Lagann, Mitch?
No, I have not. That is actually on my list. Since you guys,
I'm sorry, spoilers.
since you guys were talking about it, that's been on my list for a while. So
There you go. Yeah, if I could give you one recommendation, yeah, it'd be Gurren Lagann.
yeah, I definitely want to check that out.
I didn't really give anything away, but you'll enjoy yourself, Mitch. But I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, there's a lot of ceilings in this show.
So another one that I would like to talk about is in Full Metal Alchemist is Pride, the homunculus Pride.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is another character that is way overpowered for their world, and
Absolutely.
it's amazing the whole homunculi thing as it is. Like one of my top 5 villains is Greed. I just like Greed's whole like power
Yeah.
that he can create like this armor, basically, and it's like invincible. But then you bring in Pride, who's just like the creator of all the homunculi, and it just like blows my mind on how powerful this guy is. But he's got to be in like the shadows and everything else is like his only downfall. You know?
Yeah.
But you always find yourself needing a
Yeah.
shadow.
Well, and seriously, like, God forbid you find yourself in a place where you can't get out of the shadows or what have you. Yeah, you're right, Mitch. He would absolutely destroy everybody. The Hohenheim, the only reason he survived in that one encounter was because he was able to get out of the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and
Yeah, he couldn't pass the tunnel, right?
yeah, no, he couldn't go past the tunnel because it was like I think it was away from his barrier where he was allowed to go.
Yeah,
It's-
he with
Oh, yeah.
Pride, he was like he no matter how big it was, he had to have some sort of container that he couldn't leave. And it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
sewer system of whatever the hell the city name was.
Oh yeah, I forgot the city name too.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm glad you bring that up because overpowered villains are that's where I'm at. That's my favorite because it gives the protagonist or our hero, whoever it happens to be, it gives them somewhere to strive to. So it's not just like someone's dropped in overpowered and they're kicking the shit out of everybody from the beginning. It's almost like with the villain, you know that there's going to be a time where they're overcome by somebody, and watching a character get to that point that's my favorite part about the OP villains.
Now,
Do you have a villain?
I have
Uh,
I have one if you guys don't have one.
I do. But Mitch, why don't you go ahead, brother?
Though I don't know how far you guys are in My Hero Academia, but
I'm in the middle of season
yeah.
2.
I'm
I'm in
I'm
3.
gonna Overhaul. Overhaul is like the enemy in season 4, and
Oh,
this
shit.
is it's. I'm bound to talk about it. He is overpowered because his power is basically he can break things down and rebuild it. And there's one of the fights, he literally touches one of his followers, and he one shots the guy just by touching him in the head. Like the dude's head just explodes, and
Oh my
Oh, boy.
lord.
this character's like stupid, overpowered, and it took Midoriya to go way beyond what he was able to with oh geez, why am I drawing a blank on the name of it?
One
One
for
for
all.
all, yeah. He had to go over what he was able to even beat the guy.
That's what he always does.
Yeah. Well,
he always hurts himself.
yeah, but in this fight, he was able to actually do it without hurting himself, and it's actually like super cool, like the fight they have. But it's just, again, like My Hero has characters that are like that too, like All for One, for example, or yeah, All for One, no, One for All. I'm trying to remember the name now.
No, I think it's All for One as the
Yeah.
villain because that's the one I'm at. I just met
Yeah,
him.
that guy is overpowered just by the fact that he can take your quirk away from you, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
basically quirkless. And then they find a way to manufacture a power like that and use it as a weapon. And like, imagine that you're in a world where your power defines who you are, and you can have that all taken away from this overpowered villain.
Now,
We're
when
gonna
you
call him
say
douchebag.
when you say take his quirk away, do you mean like permanently until you do something to get it back, or is it more of an eraser head thing?
They never really, I don't think they really explained it that well or that much, but he's able to take it away, but they don't say for how long.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw him now, and he was taking quirks away from his own allies to use them real quickly, but they still had him, but he was using them whenever he wanted.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Oh, that's
yeah.
awful. You
Yeah.
just stockpile
It's
powers.
overpowered.
Oh, it
shit.
is. It is. It's overpowered as hell, and it takes All Might, basically everything that he had to even, spoiler alert, sorry, to defeat him.
Speaking of All Might before his internal bleeding injuries, I mean, he's Superman in
Oh,
the
yeah.
anime world. Let's be honest. And
Essentially.
he's, yeah, and I don't hate him. He was he had to have been inspired by Superman, but like overpowered as shit. And I guess I'm glad he's on the hero side.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, like those smash moves, his jumps, everything, like he is essentially Superman without the extra powers.
United States
Smash!
of Smash.
Oh, man, the Detroit's or the one that he does in the big fight with All Might or All for One is just insane.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's
I'm saving it for Earthworm to watch because I just watched it and he hasn't, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
pretty good.
I got
so.
chills when I
Oh, yeah.
watched him deliver this United States Smash, and that's rare for me when you see that in a show that you get chills from watching it.
So,
Oh, without a doubt.
with All Might in mind, I like when they have a character who's wicked OP, but they give him like one tiny restriction, or even not a tiny restriction, but like they give him something to make him, one sort of weakness. So for
Like human.
yeah, so for All Might, it's because he's already been like completely destroyed in that one fight, so he can't just be overpowered for all time. He's got a time limit. And the other guy I think of when I think of that is Gilgamesh from the Fate series.
I was about to bring up Gilgamesh.
I knew you were thinking about it, but I'm taking him
Yes,
today.
I was. Okay.
Yeah, have
You're
you
so upset 'cause
have
you
you
lost.
messed with any of the Fate,
I
Mitch?
watched. Oh man, I watched them out of order, so it's really hard to like remember a lot of the characters' names. But there was a couple characters from like the Fate series that were amazingly overpowered.
Gilgamesh was the one in gold that had like billions and billions of
Yeah.
weapons that he would never
Yeah,
stop
no,
coming
yeah,
at you.
I remember him. Yeah, no, that's the character who's overpowered. That you have an unlimited arsenal of weapons.
Yeah, and in Fate Zero, he didn't even get really tested. I think the worst battle he was in was more of an annoyance to him, if
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But his one weakness in Unlimited Blade Works is you find out that he's terrible in close combat. He's great at range, but if you can get right up in his grill, he's just kind of a normal dude. So I like having some sort of like little weakness that you got to find out. It brings strategy into it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I love Gilgamesh. too.
Gother is another one of those like overpowered, like kind of in between characters from Seven Deadly Sins. He's another one of those like he's overpowered, but not.
Is that Mustache
no,
Man?
He's the one, the pink hair with glasses. He's the one with the very or like the first bit of him. You see him walking around with the armor.
Full disclosure, we have not delved into Seven Deadly Sins yet. That's one of the
We
ones
just know
that's been
of it
kind of hanging
and some
out.
characters.
Yeah, well, he's definitely one of those characters. And then, like you were saying, the guy with the mustache, Escanor. Escanor is probably overpowered, incarnated in Seven Deadly Sins. Like his strength is immense. Like anyone he fights, essentially, if it's in the sun, or because he's powered by the sunlight, that any enemy that he fights, he goes above their power level. So
Just
automatically, like as long as he's in the sun, his body goes from like this really shrunken, scrawny dude to super muscular, and he's just way overpowered to the point that he could literally beat anybody, but he refuses to fight certain people. You know?
Oh,
Yeah, and he's also like a super simp towards Merlin too. Like
you know, sometimes you gotta simp hard. That's how it goes, you know.
But yeah, no, like he's definitely a way overpowered character for an anime in that world.
I don't know if this is technically an overpowered villain, but I'm just gonna go with it because we got to see that he was able to get defeated. I'm trying not to do spoilers because I know like Danny and certain people are watching it, but you know, fuck it. Miram is overpowered from Hunter x Hunter.
I've been waiting all day to talk about Meruem.
Oh
He
my
is
God,
the
why'd you
most
say
OP.
something?
I was waiting, you know. The time needed to be right, but he is OP as fuck.
Yeah, you pretty much with the Netero versus him fight, you realize Netero had to throw everything at him. So he's the strongest and most overpowered in my opinion.
And remember, Meruem never developed a Nen attack. He never honed his Nen at all. That was all natural ability that he was born with. Imagine if he would have developed like an attack, not just a punch and a kick and
Like
moving fast
Frieza
as shit.
actually trained his body.
Exactly. Yeah.
What would it be like if Frieza actually trained for once in his life? Well, he got a new form.
Yeah, like a year
Yeah.
for once. Jesus Christ.
I gotta be honest, I actually, when that first came out, Resurrection F first came out, I was super down for that idea. I was like, you know what, that makes sense. Frieza's not the kind of guy who would drain. And now that he did, yeah, okay. He's gold, but I'll deal with
exactly. And it's just, again, that was overpowered. Like, he was able to go toe-to-toe with Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta without having, a lot of issues. And
Yeah, because I would say he's not overpowered, but he definitely can grow power very quickly.
But that's like the key system in Dragon Ball Z as it is broken as hell. As you guys have talked about it with the power level episode that you guys did, like Ki is a very broken system compared to something like Chakra or Nen, or Spirit Energy from Bleach and whatever the power system in Yu Yu Hakusho is too.
Oh, yep,
Like
yep.
Ki is just super broken because they're like super worried about power levels in the first couple seasons of Dragon Ball Z, but the minute you do the Android saga and then going into the Cell saga, power levels are basically just nothing anymore.
I think the introduction of power levels, just to start out with, was the biggest problem with Dragon Ball Z. Because before that, correct me if I'm wrong, but there were no such thing as power levels in Dragon Ball, right?
No, there was no such thing as power levels. There was no such thing as like anything that was going on.
I think it was all
Yeah,
martial
it
arts.
was
Yeah.
essentially just Goku was super strong because he trained. Like they never really fully explained why he was so strong. Just he was.
Yeah, other than him crashing down to Earth, or did you even know that in Dragon Ball, or did you find that out in Z?
They never mentioned that he's from space in Dragon Ball. It was Dragon Ball Z was when they mentioned it. You know, like
Okay, but
he thought that all boys had tails and that all girls had penises. That's why he was checking them every time.
I remember that scene. That was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Bulma, your balls are gone.
There's no bulge.
like he
But
I think the one with the Chi-Chi test when he touches her and she just knocks him off the Nimbus cloud was probably pretty funny too.
that was good. He just had to double check, man. He wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
But anyway, I think what the problem with Dragon Ball Z is they tried to introduce some sort of like calculated cap, or not so much cap, but they tried to add numbers into a power system that really didn't need it. You could have just kept growing and stronger if at one point you didn't put, this guy's 1,000,000 power level, because then in everybody's head they start to think like, well, if Frieza's 1,000,000 or whatever, what the hell is Majin Buu? And then what the hell is like Beerus? And then all the way into this new goat-looking dude in the manga. I mean, what the hell? What is his power
There's
level?
a
Infinity?
goat-looking dude? What are we doing?
Yeah,
here?
no,
God.
there's
I haven't been paying attention, but I've seen pictures, and he looks pretty cool. I'll give it
yeah,
up.
he's supposed to be
Okay.
really strong. I haven't read anything in the manga either, but yeah, he's supposed to be pretty tough. And another character is Ichigo from Bleach.
Okay, now I've never watched Bleach, but I watched the death battle to see how he, I forgot who he was facing, but it went through all his shit,
Naruto,
and I guess he has
it was Naruto. Yeah,
yeah, and he had a form for everything. So
like the minute he gets the Soul Reaper power, he was stronger than the Hollow he was fighting. Like the minute he got the power. And then he goes and destroys like half of the captains and the second chair lieutenants and the soul, or when they're in the Soul Society. And these are characters that have been training for years to be strong and their ranking. And Ichigo literally just shows up on the scene. It's like, well, I guess your training's gone to shit because I'm just going to wipe everybody out. And then later on, when all these other character types are introduced, Ichigo has a hollow form. He's got Quincy powers because in the manga his mom is a Quincy. And then he gets a bunch of these other just overpowered powers for no reason, and it's just to make him stronger than the enemy at the end of the road,
right.
Like with Aizen, they built Aizen to be a super powered villain. Like he's spent hundreds of years planning to take over all the Soul Society and become the leader of everything. And then Ichigo shows up and destroys that hundreds of years of planning with one move, basically.
My God, how did people allow this?
It's just,
I mean,
excuse for merchant or for marketing and everything else.
New transformations do sell.
Yeah. I mean, like, that was, like, the main reason why they did the fusions and stuff in Dragon Ball Z is because, hey, look, we can make money off of this.
Yeah, one more figure you can sell me.
Yeah, exactly.
one more figure you could
And
sell.
I bought it, or my parents bought it for me, I should say.
I do want a Super Saiyan 4
that would be
Gogeta.
awesome.
I would love it.
I'm just hoping for one day when they actually make GT canon again, because there's so many awesome fights and transformations in that show. Ugh.
I have a special spot in my heart for GT, especially the ending where Goku's riding off on Shenron after like hanging out with Krillin and all his boys. Like that. Oh, that brings a tear to my
Now,
eye.
since we are talking about Dragon Ball GT. I think it's only fair that we talk about Omega Shenron. That's
Oh my
that's
God.
another OP as hell character.
Can we put him there though when Gogeta beat him in like 2 minutes
Well,
or less?
He could
Yeah.
have, but he wasted too much
Yeah,
time.
he wasted too much time being cocky,
yeah.
and he defused. And it was another one of those situations that Goku had to defeat him with, like, a spirit bomb, you know.
The spirit bomb.
The Spirit Bomb attack.
But yeah, no, like, Omega Shenron was one of those, like, another OP character, you know, villain in Dragon Ball GT. Even, like, Baby was another one of those characters, too, that was OP for a little bit when he's introduced.
For a different reason,
Yeah.
though, Baby. He was, I liked his idea, because he was the parasite, so he could just find, like, another OP character and kind of build
Yeah.
him up a little bit, rather than just being, like Tagoro from fucking Yu Yu Hakusho. It's like, check out the muscles, man.
In a way, Tagoro was also overpowered because he, in the end, let Yusuke beat him. So, I think that
He
was
didn't let,
explained.
he didn't just, like, lay down
Okay,
and die.
okay, Yusuke defender. I'm just saying he accepted it. He didn't really put his all in.
God, I
so.
gotta
Yeah,
rewatch that show. It's been a hot minute.
Yes, you do.
It's,
Yes,
it's
you
actually
do.
on my
Yeah.
queue right now on Funimation, so...
That is no doubt my most watched anime. I must have watched front to back like 4 times in my life. I love it.
Now I'm gonna
Another-
be going back to protagonists, but if that's okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking of Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah. I haven't watched
I
haven't
mean-
watched the manga, but I played Jump Force. I know how strong he is.
Yeah.
His literally, it was an episodic kind of show, like, you know, some things like Cowboy Bebop, and like Earthworm has said before, is it was every episode was how does Kenshin beat this guy? Like it was a big bad every time, and he wiped the floor with him every time. So, I
Especially
see
with
him as an-
Kenshin, when he was the Batosai, the manslayer. I mean,
Yeah,
that's when he
that
was
too.
at the height of his OP. He kind of lost a little bit of it when he stopped trying to kill people. But yeah, if he was going for kill shots, he would have just been one-hit kills. That was his whole martial arts style.
Yeah, he was the quickest. But that's mine.
I gotta rewatch. I gotta finish Rurouni Kenshin at some point.
I got another one that's kind of like left field for the fact of overpowered. I kind of touched on her a little bit in my Isekai episode, but it's Maple from Bo Fury. I don't want to get hurt, so I've maxed out my defense.
That's your role-playing game person.
Yeah, she is overpowered, but in a non-conventional kind of way. Like her whole thing is that, again, like the title says, she doesn't want to get hurt, so she maxed out her defense. So every time she would level up in the game, instead of putting up her strength, agility, all that, it goes right into defense. So there's a tournament that happens in the game, and she has like all this other abilities that she learns from eating things and being attacked a bunch of times. And she has this shield that is basically a giant deflects everything back at the enemy or absorbs it too. And she had an army of people trying to attack her, and all she did was sit there with her shield up and was taking no damage. And
they can't go around her?
like they never thought about doing that. Like that's the thing. Like, sure, she had her back against the wall, but you could go around that wall and attack her from behind. But even if they did, her defense was so damn high that it took a higher power level character to actually hurt her. And and then she goes and she does these missions, and they randomly drop her into these situations, and then she just somehow gets like the big baddie's power and uses it against people. Like, it's one of those shows that it's really good, but it gets boring very quickly.
Right.
You know what show that reminds me of? Because I haven't seen Bofuri, but I have watched The Rising of Shield Hero.
I haven't watched that one yet, but it is on my list too.
Very similar, same idea, except this guy, Naofumi, he doesn't necessarily have the option to put any of his stats in attack, because his only weapon is the shield. So he can use defensive things. He has like what's called I think it's an air raid shield. So he can like put a shield anywhere and just like have it stand up in the air. So he's used that for like attacks and stuff. But he's almost forced to max out his defense, and he becomes overpowered as shit. Really, I mean, very similar to Maple, to where he can just take hits and he can set up shields for his teammates and whatnot.
That sounds pretty OP to me.
Like even like Karapika in Hunter x Hunter, that's another character that's overpowered, but not, in the normal sense of the word.
He's overpowered to the spider troop. That's for
Exactly. He's overpowered to only one type of enemy. And again, in Hunter x Hunter, you see how overpowered he can be once he, uses the eyes and then goes and uses his powers against all the members. Like, he easily wiped out that, or a couple of their people like it was nothing,
Yeah, with that condition that he
Yeah.
set, yeah, like you just said, JD, Uvogan. I mean, he had no business beating Uvogan, that's for sure.
And
Oh, are we gonna mention? I mean, we're still talking about, but we got to put Guts in here soon.
Yeah, Guts from Berserk. He's yeah. I mean, I don't like calling him necessarily overpowered because I just see him get the shit kicked out of him. Like I've seen so many times, he just gets his ass whooped. But he does always win in the end. So yeah, I'll give it up to that.
Okay, I'm glad. I don't know about you, Mitch.
I haven't really watched Berserk yet. That's
Do not watch the new one. Do not watch 2016. It is CGI garbage.
oh man, CGI in anime. Can we just say that's the most overpowered thing in anime is CGI?
Yeah,
Yeah.
using too much of it.
It just ruins.
If you do it right,
I can't remember.
I mean, Ufotable, they do it well.
There's one that I'm actually doing a review on in a future episode. For it's labeled as the worst anime on my anime list, and it's Heaven X Skelter or something like that, and that's supposed to be a CGI nightmare in anime.
Oh God.
So you're
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
that?
it to review for the show.
Oh, you're a better man
excited
than
to
me.
hear Yeah.
I just watched the anime that I finished recently was Prison School, and I watched the live action one not long after that one, and the live action acting was just that's
Was terrible.
that's live action adaptations is overpowered because it can make and break an entire anime series. Like Dragon Ball Evolution, for example. Like
Don't. Oh,
that
God.
was supposed to be a series. Like they planned to do 3 movies, but because of how bad the first one did, they dropped it entirely.
Someone was looking out for
Yeah.
us there. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I can't even put into words how bad that movie is.
Yeah, no, like
So real quick, I got a couple left fielders for overpowered characters.
okay.
All right, so from Death Note, Light and L both are not physically overpowered at all, but they're the smartest people I've ever heard talk.
Like in L's case, it's the whole, or in Light's case, he's got the Death Note and everything. So
The Death Note.
yeah, that makes him overpowered in a sense that, as long as he knows a person's name and he can picture them, you're done.
That's true. He can't just murder at will.
Yeah.
See, I would just become friends with him and be like, "Hey, buddy, remember when I bought that chocolate bar yesterday?"
I mean,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you could say that, but look how far he went. Right near the end of the series, he barely trusted anybody. So
Yeah, and I mean, there was a little bit of a moment where each of them knew what they were trying to do, but they were friendly, L and Light, for a minute. I mean, they were like either going to the same school or something, but they were quote unquote getting along for a little bit, but they each were like playing ridiculous mind games. And let's just say if they tried to do any of that to me, they'd automatically win. My brain would just start frying like gones.
I'd be even worse. I think I'd be like gone even right at the first 5 minutes.
yeah, and even Gon's another one of those characters that's just an overpowered character too. like how fast he was able to take learning Nen, and then when he learned to do rock paper scissors and everything else, like he became very overpowered, especially when he like transformed essentially.
But didn't Killua like learn things even faster than him? So wouldn't that mean Killua was more overpowered?
I mean, like,
Well, I think Killua was just exposed to it earlier, but Gon was always shown to have more potential than Killua. He would learn a little bit faster. Gon, I mean, as a 12-year-old, both of them as 12-year-old boys had no business standing where they stood if they were normal 12-year-old boys.
That's true.
yeah, and again, that's another one where those characters were overpowered in their universe, especially Gon. Like when they went through the Hunter's exam, like look how overpowered he was compared to most of the people there. Like his senses were above everyone else. And then when he learned to slow down, or when he learned to get the tag off of Hisoka, that's another one that he learned how to do that very quickly in that short period of time, you know?
Oh, yeah. I think the word overpowered is fairly subjective, you know, when you really look at it, because some people, like, a lot of people might not think of Gon as overpowered, but you're right, you know, him being where he was at such a young age, that's some overpowered stuff right there.
Well, yeah, like what they say when it comes to overpowered anime characters is that they're not overpowered in, like, the sense of they're stronger than, like, pick another character from another world. They're overpowered in their environment. Because Dio's another one of those characters that's overpowered in JoJo, from what I understand. Because
he is.
like
that
a
you were right about that.
vampire
Zawara.
though. Yeah. Yeah, like...
Yeah, vampiric stand
Yeah.
user is definitely OP.
You guys got any other ones?
I had a weird one,
Yeah, I got one more weird one.
and that's
But
gonna be
JD,
about-
JD, why don't you go first?
I was thinking about it, and I still like the show from time to time, but I was thinking of Yami from the original Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, Yami, yeah.
Ooh, good call.
Every time he was brought into Duel, pretty much he won. Like,
Yep.
Yugi needed him.
Because of some bullshit Heart of the Cards bullshit.
It's true, man.
Yeah, but
It's
even
true.
Yugi went and eventually beat Yami at the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! If I'm correct,
Well, that's all bullshit.
It's
I'm
been
just kidding.
it's been a hot minute since I've watched Yu-Gi-Oh!
It has.
Same.
It has. But I just remember how much I was so excited when it went Yu-Gi-Oh! And then he became
I
Yami.
mean, like
I was
even
like,
Pegasus. Like Pegasus is a pretty overpowered character too.
Yugi Just wanted to add that, you know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, anybody with one of the Egyptian like special tools or what I can't remember
the
what the hell they were called,
Millennium
but
Pieces, I think they're called.
items.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
items?
Yeah. Anybody with one of those was automatically
Oh, yeah.
overpowered as fuck.
Especially in that world of playing cards.
was the
And
other
being
guy?
able to read
Bakura,
your
right?
opponent's moves and shit. It's like, come on.
Was Bakura the one that got you trapped in the Shadow Realm?
He was the one where they did that one episode where he turned Yugi and Joey and all them into their favorite cards.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's pretty overpowered there. Just saying.
I mean, like Merrick was pretty strong too. Like he was another one of those ones that was able
Merrick.
to turn people into the Shadow Realm. I think that just comes with if you have a Millennium item that you're able to put people into the Shadow Realm.
yeah,
It's
we'll
a
put you in
license
the
to
OP.
kill.
Yeah, we'll put you in the OP
Yeah,
category.
All right. So, real quick, Mitch, have you watched Haikyuu?
I'm not a huge sports anime fan. I'm gonna just
We
put
weren't
Fair
Put
that
enough.
out.
Same,
Just gonna put that
same.
out there because
Um,
I have gotten to an argument in the Anime Summit Discord about.
Oh,
Haven't we all?
You're in dangerous grounds
I mean,
there,
like
bud.
I'm on dangerous grounds when I say that Inuyasha is an isekai. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I remember
saw
reading
that.
that conversation. That was it. That was an interesting
I mean,
debate.
like I threw out stone cold hard facts, and everyone's just like, it's not an isekai because they're not trapped in the world. But you know.
Yeah.
So, anyway, then I won't spend too much time on this. But from Haikyuu season 3, from the team Shiratazawa. If anybody doesn't know, Haikyuu is a volleyball anime. So,
With
this one
shonen
dude.
feels.
Yeah, wicked shonen feels, but this one dude on this team, and I say overpowered, I mean literally like this guy has just too much power for like a 17-year-old kid. He is the strongest spiker. Like when he hits this ball, it just like it knocks people like over. This dude is ridiculously overpowered.
You have to
In the truest
usually
sense of the word.
receive on the other side when the ball's coming at you, and every time it would hit someone, even if they got a chance to deflect it, it would hit with so much force it would bounce like out of the arena.
Yeah,
That's
he
how
doesn't
hard
even
it is.
try. He doesn't even try to avoid the people waiting for the ball. He just shoves it right through them. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's all I got on the top of my head for OP characters. I'm sure with the more shonens we watch that we're gonna
Oh
see
yeah,
some more.
exactly. That's all I watch is shonens. Like, yeah, I mean, like you can't go wrong with the good old fashioned, just awesome fight scenes with poor character development.
Whoa! Now, there's a lot of good character development shown, and Naruto is on
Okay,
high.
okay. Before we end it here, I need to talk about two characters from Naruto that are overpowered as hell.
Yeah.
And as
Just try your best not to give too much away.
that's
It's okay. I probably already know it. We're
Okay.
good.
Never mind
Naruto
that.
is overpowered, and
Yep.
Madara from Shippuden. He is
Yes,
he is overpowered as hell.
He technically wouldn't have lost if they didn't fuck him.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, Naruto becomes overpowered because of the tailed beast, and then when he starts to get on the same page with Kurama, whatever his name was, the tailed beast.
Oh, Kurama.
Kurama, yeah.
Yeah, Kurama, the
The
Nine
minute
Tails.
they get on the same page and he's able to tap into that demon fox, which I don't know if I want to like legitimately like say it, but
No, you don't have to. He doesn't know everything. I know he doesn't.
That's-
Earthworm wants to know, but
that's
he
the prob-
shouldn't.
I know the basic bones
that's
of
the problem
Naruto.
because you learn a lot more about the tailed beasts in Shippuden because that's like a huge focal point in like the whole Akatsuki angle and everything else. You learn a lot more of that in Shippuden than you do in the OG Naruto. But even in OG Naruto, like you see little bits and pieces of Naruto being overpowered, like the fight with Haku and Zabuza, for example. Like he goes into the one tail state and he's overpowered. And then when you go further into it and he gets two tails, three tails, whatever form of the tailed beast, he's just dangerous after that. And then
Yeah, he starts to lose his mind.
then in Shippuden, when he gets more forms of the tailed beast, it gets to the point where he almost turns into the demon fox. Again, you don't really. It's later in Shippuden, like past all like 90-something episodes of pure filler that have
Yeah, I can't wait.
Shippuden. That's the worst part I find about Shippuden because there's so much filler in that show. It is hard to say, okay, you want to go from this episode, okay, skip this entire arc because it's filler, okay, then go from there to here. It's the same with like GT, for example. It's another one of those overpowered. Let's just say filler is probably the most overpowered thing in all of anime, more than CGI and everything else. Because
Yeah, 100%.
again, filler can make or break a show, you know?
Yeah, if you're not willing to skip it or if you don't know what's coming,
Exactly.
then you're kind of stuck there,
If
pal.
Naruto didn't have as much filler, that took almost half of the 500. It's almost half of its filler. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have had my first 10 rating with Naruto. I seriously would have.
Like that's
Can we all appreciate the real most overpowered character in Naruto, though?
Yes, please. let us
Ramen
know.
guy.
Yes.
Oh,
ramen
yes.
guy.
The one guy who
Yes.
can control Naruto,
Yes,
Ramen
yes.
guy. Come on.
Ichiraku's ramen, man. That's
He's,
how you
he's
do
my
it.
hero.
It's the best ramen.
Yeah, no, that is the most overpowered. And then no, that's like yeah. You know, and like I said, Madara's like super overpowered because, you know, he's got like the fullest Sharingan and whatever else. And you learn more about that and ship it in too. It's just
He also takes Harashima shells, or how do you say it? Harashima.
yeah,
cells.
Hiroshima cells, yeah.
I can't even
Yeah.
say it.
Man, I just met Itachi, and I thought he was OP with his Sharingan, fucking Mangekyo
Oh man,
stuff. Oh my
that
God.
you
that
haven't
goes
seen
that
it
goes
yet.
out the window the minute Shippuden is introduced because it just more overpowered.
I can't wait. Oh
I
boy.
can't wait.
Like the thing with Shippuden is that Shippuden has a lot of like really good fights, especially when you start getting Naruto a lot more stronger in the anime, and he starts fighting like almost god tier enemies, and then he has the fight with Pain that is insane.
That's one of the
Oh,
best fights.
hands down, best fight in the whole entire franchise of Naruto.
Yeah, that's one thing that overpowered characters will always breed is amazing fight scenes and mountains exploding and just visual spectacles we get to watch.
I mean, like one of my favorite fights in Hunter x Hunter is Gon versus Hisoka. Like that
Yes.
fight was
Yep.
insane. Like, sure, it was only showing like a small bit of what they both could do, but that small bit of what they could do is amazing. Plus, the orgasm scene is, mwah, mwah.
Oh, top tier.
Top tier reactions to getting punched in the face. You know?
Yeah, I remember my wife seeing that part actually happening. She's like, "What's wrong with him?" I'm like, "No, it's okay. He's not really a pedophile."
He's power sexual.
Yeah, that's the term I use.
A power sexual.
But no, like, again, and even Dragon Ball Z, like, there's a lot of good fight scenes in that. And when you start getting overpowered characters introduced in Dragon Ball Z, like, the fights just get more and more earth-shattering. You know?
Oh yeah,
And I
and
think
you always get
that's-
that climactic fight at the end.
Yeah, that's what it is. But eventually, I feel like when it got to Super, I've just seen so much shit happen that I'm like, yeah, I've already seen this before. It didn't like get me as surprising as all the others. But that's just
Yeah,
me.
but
you know, it's still good.
even
but-
Super, though, like, even Super got to the point where you could tell that they were just grasping at straws at certain points when it came to, like,
Yeah.
half of the content they were putting out in there.
No, exactly.
But yeah, anyways, guys, I think we should wrap it up there. We're getting to almost an hour, so
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
we
is
like to
officially
make
your
you have a
longest
nice long
episode,
one.
I think.
I
Yeah.
believe like the fullest extent of this. I'm not going to chop it into like part 1, part 2. It's going to be this is a special episode. Thank you guys for coming on to the show. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
No
Thank
problem,
you, Mitch.
man.
We really appreciate you having us on, man. We're happy to be building this anime podcasting community,
yeah.
and we're going to have you on our show before
Oh, yeah.
too long.
Yeah, we got to spread the
Oh yeah.
love.
Now, fellas, where can everybody find you?
Ooh, who wants to do the plug?
That's you, Earthworm.
Okay, we have Twitter at Anime Brothers PC. We have Instagram, anime_brothers_podcast. We have Discord. I can't read off the Discord link, but yeah, listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify, TuneIn, Castbox, pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts. And yeah, we hope to hear from you
Yeah,
guys.
and again, guys, everyone who's listening to this, their links will be all in the description of the episode. When I eventually re-upload this to YouTube as well, the link will be in description of the YouTube channel. But I've been Mitch. These guys have been the Anime Brothers. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in and listening. I will see you guys in the next episode. Go plus Ultra!
Peace.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Talking Anime. If you like the theme song, link in the description of this podcast and video. And all my socials linked in the bottom. I'll see you guys next episode. Bye.
いつの間に